So we are also working on bringing out a DAO where everyone can then participate in a fair manner, and where not, you get an advantage if you, I don't know, just have been a super early support. I mean, that is also obviously very important to, um, you know, be beneficial for the super early supporters, but we still want to make it fair that everyone can participate in decisions that are being made. Let it be, for example, a fee switch to be turned on and whatnot. So we're working very hard to bring out a DAO very soon as well.
That's amazing. And there, yeah, you touched on so much. So please, anytime you want to ramble and provide, that much valuable commentary, please feel free. I did want to mention, I think you touched on something that's really interesting. It's kind of having those discussions with maybe projects that are just building out, with art, with NFTs. Like, I think that there's probably a huge opportunity to touch base on, with those types of projects about the aspects of liquidity that could really probably help their projects, like moving forward in the long term, by kind of integrating with some of the DeFi aspects. So it's great that you guys are doing that. The second thing is kind of that user portal, or that, that personalized dashboard, I think is massively needed on most of these platforms, where I can literally go on and see everything, that I'm participating in from a DeFi standpoint. And even from an, impermanent loss standpoint, having like a little unique calculator, like for myself, to be like, okay, if this goes to this and this stays the same, or if this goes, really understanding and playing around with it. And it's almost like provide the tool, have it for the user as a value-added service, and let the user really kind of mess around with all the educational aspects and kind of get to a point where they can educate themselves. So it's really smart. And thank you for sharing all of that with us. I did want to ask you, because I think you touched on it a little bit, with kind of how Heliswap was started, with kind of the mantra and the Lime Chain collaboration. Milestones and achievements thus far for you guys. Like, what would you consider some of the milestones and achievements that you've hit so far? And what are you looking forward to in 2023 from a milestone and achievement standpoint?
Sure, that is a very good question. So I would say one of the biggest milestones so far is definitely that we have launched the DEX. I think by now it's like 3 months ago, and that it is up and running, fully functioning, that there have been no instances of security issues or anything security related, which is also thanks to Halborn, which did an audit for us or with us. So that is definitely a big milestone. Another one, and this is again where I think I'm circling back a bit, is this collaboration with the Hedera Foundation, where they just have been very kind to grant us this, or give us this 30 million each per grant, which we're currently distributing via yield farming campaigns to the community. And just really, onboarding the different kind of NFT projects, going out there, spreading our name, being active in Twitter spaces, and just learning a lot every day together with all the different projects that are out there. I mean, I hope there are more milestones and achievements to come. One such thing would be definitely also that as of now, Heliswap didn't launch a token yet. So that is going to go live within, I don't want to pinpoint myself here on a date, but that token is supposed to launch in the coming weeks. And something very interesting in this aspect is also, we actually started by doing a, how do you call it, like a pre-sale kind of thing for the token. And the interest has been great, and the community has been very supportive of that. But we also heard a lot of different people within the community saying that this might be, or give people an unfair advantage that just have a lot more money than maybe like I don't know, a student or someone who just started working, for example, or a young professional. And this is why we're also switching from this model of a pre-sale kind of thing to a more community focused. Like I don't want to, again, like voice it out exactly how we're going to do it, but if you stay on Twitter and Discord and whatnot, you will know soon enough. but we just shifted our approach to things where everyone will be able to participate no matter how much they want to contribute, and everyone is going to get like equal chance to be part of the greater thing. So I think that is something that I'm personally looking forward a lot, also because a lot of people within the community have been persistently asking when the token is going to launch, for example.
100%. And I also kind of wanted to ask within the token launch, like, what aspects of you, I don't want to say what's the right way of wording it. Every time you get into token discussions, it's always a little bit hairy. So what is the token going to represent within the ecosystem that Heliswap is building? What functions will the token have?
Sure. So to start with, I mean, the token is going to be definitely part of the DAO module that we're going to launch. And we're also working on bringing more utility to a token that people can not only vote with it, but potentially, you know, just do a little bit of everything that is available in the space, potentially play a few games or use it to, you got me there. Like it's very hard to say what utilities we're going to give our token, because if I were to tell you what utilities we're going to give it, I'm kind of giving away what we're having in the pipeline, and that is up until now a bit or still confidential, because yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we're going to provide features and utilities to the token beyond the DAO functions and beyond voting capabilities, which where we think that will drive real value to the token, that will make people actually want to use it and hold it, or you know, maybe just do with it whatever they want. Just hold it in their wallet, print something out on their wall, put it on their wall, or whatnot. Yeah, but I'm not sure how to phrase it in a way without giving away what features we're currently building.
No, that's totally fine. The last question I have, because I don't think it's talked about enough, is kind of the Hashport integration and what Hashport represents within Heliswap, especially as more and more growth comes into the Hedera ecosystem from, you know, networks like Ethereum. Can you touch base on, you know, what Hashport actually represents within your ecosystem, and the Hedera ecosystem as a whole? Maybe give people a primer about what Hashport allows you to do.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so I will, if Jesse sees that, I will try my best to represent Hashport for you guys.
Well, I mean, even within your ecosystem, so you know, kind of the porting of the ERC20 tokens into, you know, into Heliswap,
yeah.
for DeFi mechanisms.
That is very true. So what you can do with Hashport is you port your tokens from different ecosystems onto the Hedera network. And what they are doing is they're minting tokens within the Hedera network that will then represent a unit of that token that comes from outside of the Hedera network. And what that really allows and provides for the Hedera network is that now all of a sudden with Hashport, you can just migrate a lot of liquidity, a lot of total value locked from different chains onto the Hedera network. And that really allows for people that have been on the EVM chains to explore new chains like the Hedera ecosystem, right? And it just allows for a lot of different opportunities, but it is not just a one-way kind of system where people from the EVM chain go onto Hedera or the Hedera network. It also gives us, for example, as Heliswap, once the token is launched, the opportunity to go onto the Ethereum network. And that is something that I can definitely also say is like, once the token is launched, we will also bridge our token onto the Ethereum network to make it available on decentralized exchanges within the Ethereum ecosystem, for example. Another thing that Hashport allowed us to do, or allowed Mantra to do, for example, and we also have like so the token of the Mantra DeFi platform is called Ohm. We're also having like an Ohm pool on Heliswap, and Hashport just allowed, you know, Ohm to be migrated from the Ethereum network onto the Hedera network, and now you can use your ohm from the Ethereum network on Heliswap to farm some juicy rewards. So yeah, I mean, I hope I managed to bring a little light into what Hashboard is doing, but they're doing so many things, right? I mean, Jess is just nonstop reaching out to all the different projects, trying to onboard them, trying to make them migrate, and bring all the different kind of big and major coins or currencies from all the networks onto the Hedera network. And that being said, I talked a lot about Ethereum. I think they're also available for the BNB chain, for Avalanche, I think Polygon as well, if I'm not mistaken. So they're definitely doing a great job in just, you know, talking to all the different projects and onboarding them and making sure that everyone can port over their favorite assets.
Yeah, well, I certainly want to thank you for all of the answers today. The one thing I did want to mention is if you guys are interested in learning more about Heliswap from a documentation standpoint, they've done a really good job of putting together a good amount of educational content for what they're really building and what they've already launched, and that's docs.heliswap.io or docs.heliswap.io. Where else would you like people to kind of go to learn more? Is it the Twitter? Is it the Discord? Where would you like to drive some engagement to?
Yes and yes. So Twitter is definitely a good place. Like we're trying to post educational content on Twitter. Like the keys that I mentioned, I think that has been our focus recently. We're just posting a key and all the information regarding a particular key that a token can have. So Twitter is very good. Discord is very good, like you said, and also Telegram, where you can just join. And we're trying to be very active in there and asking, replying to questions that have been asked at any point in time, except for when we're sleeping. But also, you know, we're spread across the globe, so there should be always someone that is available to answer your questions. And we're also trying to post more on Medium, just educational content. Since we talked about Hashport, we actually also have an article about what it actually means to port a token via Hashport, for example.
That's fantastic. And again, Andre, thank you so much for taking the time out this morning. Looking forward to getting this content out to the community and excited about Heliswap moving forward into 2023. So definitely going to be paying attention to anything that you guys are releasing. And thank you for your time today. It's been a great interview.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the opportunity to have talked to you. And thanks very much again.